Okay, so I think this is day number 10 of this vlog series, basically because it's December 10th, so should be the 10th day, not keeping track of the small details, but let's go into the subject right away, and that is that high ticket is the best business model out there. And I know this is a big statement and it depends on so many factors, right? But let me give you just two quick reasons why, and then we'll go into the details. But first of all, high ticket basically means that you are being paid more, or you pay more yourself if you are the one who's paying. But there are two reasons, like I said, and one of them is the fact that it's higher ticket, meaning that it's 2K, 3K, 5K, 10K. It can go even higher than that. But these are the typical numbers. And then another thing is that you are working in most cases with people who are at a certain level in terms of mindset. So you're not working with beginners. And now let's come back to reason number one, right? The fact that it is a higher priced thing, service, coaching, whatever. For example, I'm mainly doing Facebook ads, business growth, because Facebook ads alone, without the right creative, without the support of other platforms like Google Ads, and then also looking at what's happening in the business, right? Because almost everyone would want to push ad spend higher if things work, right? But it doesn't work that way. Like you need to have enough stock if you sell in e-com. You need to have the right margins. You also get better margins over time, because if you sell, let's say, a drink, and you can ask from your supplier for more drinks, you get a lower price, right? Economies of scale. So there are things to keep in mind, right? Like you don't grow overnight, just like with myself and these vlogs. I'm just starting off right now. So it's basically just the beginning. There's so much more room to grow. But coming back to that, why is it important? First of all, because you can't work on $5 an hour, right? Like, it depends where you live, of course, what's your lifestyle. But if you have higher goals and over time you develop some skills, of course, you'll want to make more money. That's normal. There are people who don't want that, right? Like, I would rather film these videos than go on a vacation. So, to each their own. And it's not a wrong or right thing to do. It's just what you prefer, right? That's why basically I respect everyone the same, right? No matter what, let's say, their ideologies are, as long as it is within some boundaries when it comes to morality. But coming back to that, so the main thing is that you don't want to work for pennies, because why would you? If you have something of value, try to ask for more, right? Sometimes you actually need to ask for more, and maybe you get it, but maybe you don't. Like, you need to accept rejection as well. If you can accept rejection, you will get very far in life. And what I want to say is that, for example, if you live in Europe or in Asia, you can earn even 1 or 2K a month. You can live all right? It's not like you live like a king, but maybe you don't even want that. Because even myself, I don't think I spend more than, let's say, 1.5 to 2K, and maybe at max 3K with all the stuff that I buy, like an Osmo Pocket. So I don't think I spend more than 50K a year, personally. Like, and that's a stretch. With new laptop, maybe, new MacBook. So all of that included. But otherwise, yeah, I don't spend that, and that's half of my income. So no reason to overspend, but still, you do want to have that income. I was talking in yesterday's video. You can watch that one if you want, day number 9. That ideally you do try to compound your wealth as fast as possible, because then you just do whatever you want. You don't really worry about money. But coming back to the main subject, right? we'll go on tangents, but we come back to the main subject all the time, which is high ticket. So high ticket basically means just that you ask for more money from one client, right? And the thing is that this is not a job. It's uh, more of a partnership. That's how I like to frame it in most cases, because there should be more of an equal. You should be more of an equal with the person that you're working with, right? Because if you go to the surgeon, it's not like you're above him, right? Because you pay him. No, you're actually the one with the problem. So think of that as well. Like, you are the one who's helping a business owner or whoever you're working with to actually like make more money, save time. So it is also about attitude. So if you're not desperate, that's always better, right? That's why you need to make sure that you're never mega hungry, like you have enough to eat, but it does come over time. The more wealth you have, the easier it is, because you don't need to fake it till you make it, right? You made it already, you're just then continuing to improve. But coming back to this, think of it like this. If you have a client, in most cases, they don't really care how much you work. They just care about the results. And if you can work 10 hours a week and make 2K, in like many places, you'd live an amazing lifestyle, because like you don't work that much, but you enjoy life. And for example, for me, enjoying life actually even means creating content, because I do like to share what I learn, because I like to learn, and then I like to share with other people. We're social creatures after all. And besides that, let's go to the second point, right? Besides the fact that you get more money for working with less people, the main other thing is people. The fact that you don't work with, let's say, people who are beginners or people that don't have the right mindset, because even myself, like at 20 years old, I didn't have the right mindset. I mean, even now I'm still developing it, but still, like, it was far away. Managing my emotions wasn't as elegant as nowadays. Speaking wasn't as elegant as nowadays, both in my native language, in English, also not being as articulate, also not talking about the right things and not thinking about the right things. Because right now, I'm always thinking about growth, about things that help me, that help the others around me. While in the past, it was definitely not like that. I was probably going to the gym like 6 days a week at one point, and then I decided, because I realized I'm not going to be a bodybuilder, right? I mean, that was never my goal anyway, but it was just too much wasted time doing just something for me, Like, even right now, I think that it's not necessarily selfish, because I was also listening to podcasts, but it wasn't really progressing the story as much, the main story, That's why right now I'd rather have calls with new people, learn new skills, and just build and create in general. Or in right now, mainly growing businesses with paid ads, just because it's something I enjoy doing. However, like I was saying, the people that have a business in general, or people who work in the high ticket industry, they have a much stronger mindset, meaning that they see the abundance and they don't have that scarcity, which I think we all have at one point or another. Like, even myself, I still have it to this day. I feel like I don't have enough, right? Like, if you don't have a couple of millions in your bank account, you'll never feel like it's enough. So I think that's normal, because you need some kind of pain, or let's say lack of pleasure, right? Because most things that we do are for gaining pleasure or avoiding pain. And you probably need to balance them out, that is for sure, depending on the context. But at the same time, I would say that you also need to be around the right people, right? And that's why I'm saying that high ticket is, in general, the place where you'll find the most people who are, let's say, more developed, you know, because you won't have a business when you're 18 in most cases, right? Like, you have people who might be 30, 40, even 25. Like, it's not about age, of course, it's more about like the mindset, but you do develop in most cases the mindset over time. So even myself at 20 years old, I was still playing NBA 2K on my Xbox, you know, so it's not like I was developed, but I also didn't start from a wealthy family. Yeah, like I had enough things that I had to go through initially to just go and be, let's say, at a normal level, you know, of, let's say, being social, because mostly, even to this day, I can be slightly awkward. Of course, I mean, right now, the emotional intelligence is not as bad, so I can figure things out on the spot. But yeah, there are many things that you need to develop over time, like speaking, like facial expressions. I mean, these are very advanced things, of course, but still, what to say, when to say, there are so many important things that matter. But overall, you also need to be in the right environment. And high ticket is one of those places. And I'm not the only one saying this. And there's a reason why there are so many people who haven't created content until now, but they do have big agencies, because they made enough money, but they don't want all of this hassle of getting a few views here and there and then getting a negative comment, you know, because it's like, why would you get paid $0 on social media to get negative comments instead of just working with one or two clients and getting paid 3, 5, 6K or more, right? So that's the thought process for many people. However, ideally you do both. But anyway, that was the main thing that I wanted to point out today. The fact that high ticket is definitely one of the best places to be in, or at least to start in, because that's how you also accumulate some wealth, and then you can invest that wealth in content creation and your personal brand if you want. But that's about it for today. So we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye.